Hello, I'm Denise, and I have your readings all ready, but I wanted to give you a heads up and let you know that you may want to check out the other readings that would cover your moon and your ascendant, as well as your sun. That way you have a bigger perspective over the opportunities coming your way for the month. Okay, let's get started. Hello, Capricorn. This is for sun, moon, and ascendant. In the sign of Capricorn, of course. And I'm using the Lightseers Tarot. This deck right here by Chris Ann. Okay, and I'll be using that for the entire month. And this spread here, this week, will cover March 29th through April 4th. And I always design or designate the with this spread, the center card as being the theme for the week. It may play out throughout the whole week is what I'm saying. And with the first couple of cards possibly going from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So, and oftentimes there'll be a message that will overlay for the entire week. So that may come through as well. But regardless, the theme is absolutely about getting enough rest. It's about meditation, taking the time to meditate, to go within, to integrate the past. I know, of course, all signs and all of us and all over the planet, we're all going through a tremendous challenge at this point. And it has taken, I would say, just about all the inner strength and outer strength to make life run on a more smooth level, which is of course what Capricorn is all about. You definitely are the organizational geniuses on the planet. Now that doesn't mean just sun, moon, or ascendant. That means anyone with some strong Capricorn energy in their charts. Could be a Mars in Capricorn, could be Saturn in Capricorn, Jupiter, Capricorn, any of the planets, I would say, or Sun conjunct Saturn in any sign will bring in that flavor of being very organized and able to handle the physical reality that we're in. And so with the challenges we've been through, we're going out, we're sensitive, we're going out, we're with our family. I don't necessarily mean physically going out, although many of you will. But we're going out of the realm of our normal, day-to-day life, our normal routine, and we're much more open and sensitive, and we're having to think. We're having to, surrender to spirit, God, creative, inspiration, co-creation. Divine intelligence, whatever it is that you want to call the force that's within each one of us, the the inner core of light of who we really are, the love, truth, and the power, the serenity, the peaceful place that we all have within. So we've been tested to be in that and surrender to it as well. And then also to be really cognizant of what it is that our family needs. This is a card, the Queen of Cups, has to do with, and this may have been, what happened over the weekend too, that you've had to be more sensitive and aware as to what your family may need, what you may need, what are your real needs, and besides love and affection, love and pleasure, which are the core needs of any human being. It's about, protecting your space, opening up to, the divine realms to support you through it, but it's also very, very much about honoring the sacred core within everyone, and especially, being protective over your children and your family. This is definitely a card of protective love. And it's further reinforced by the Ace of Cups, where there's been even more of a heart opening. That energy, look at this image. It's like, here's the light. It flows through. It's within, and it opens up to even more, right? We're never a closed energy system, even though some of us may try to keep everything out. But opening up to your heart, and then, it can be because of a heart opening experience, because of the expansion here of opening your heart to, goodness, what do I need to do to protect my family? What do I need to do to protect myself? How do I stay in the loving heart open space with all of my brothers and sisters on the planet, within the brotherhood and sisterhood of love for humanity? How do we honor that? And sometimes this big expansion, if there's been an intention to open your heart and be in that space, sometimes what will happen is you'll open up, and you will have the experience, of course, because you set the intention. You can't force it. It's like with the realm of working with your feelings and any emotional reactions that may come up. You can never force yourself to feel anything, but you certainly can set the intention to open up. And as you do, you'll have the experience when the time is right for you, and then from that heart-opening experience, you will sometimes go into a little bit of contraction or a period of just integration, being in the nest of loving support and understanding that absolutely you have expansion and contraction. That's a part of life. And that's further reinforced through the end of the week with the Four of Pentacles here, in that, the integration. We have 2 4s here, so that's definitely about, and the 7 is a little bit, the same energy, in that we have something that is stabilized. These 2 energies here are very open and undefended and focused on loving. And these 2 4s are focused on stabilizing. So the opening stabilizes within a whole new space. And then it may stabilize in the physical realm. This can be the mental, the energetic. It can be with the Four of Swords, we're in the electromagnetic realm. We're in which can be the wands as well, but I see it as more of a need to mentally let go and mentally just come within. And then from there you integrate, and then we have even more stability that can come in. Now, sometimes this card can be about, the hoarding type of energy, the type of energy where you're going to fear about, will I have enough for the future? And how do I keep my things separate? And so that it doesn't really help to go into that energy, only to the extent of just make sure you have the supplies you have on hand, but it doesn't mean that you have to have them all now. It's about trusting that, and this is where I'm going to the Seven of Swords, trusting that everything you need will happen. All you have to do is plant the seeds, and it will grow. Now, not every seed opens, but with the Seven of Pentacles here, the seed has definitely opened and has sprouted. And there's the nurturing. Here's the water that comes in. You have to put water into the ground and make sure that it does get the sunshine. Make sure that it's not blocked from the sunshine. So with all of our creations, we have an investment here. And we do want to nurture the investment and keep it safe. This is about safety and protection here. But also to just, once it's done, just let go and trust. Because what happens what will or could happen if we don't just trust that nature can take care of so much, if we just let it be within its natural organizational, core. There's the divine light is within every cell of our body. It's within every bit of, there's consciousness within every, living thing, even if it's a rock. It just, doesn't move as quickly, and it may not be self-aware, but there's still consciousness. So to honor the consciousness that's within every little thing, but on a very, practical Capricorn level, this is definitely about, nurturing your investments and trusting that they will pay off. They will. It will grow. This will turn into a beautiful tree or a bush. I'm not sure what it is that's planted here, but whatever you have planted in the past, you're doing really well with it. And we have a predominance of, water and material, earthly energy, which does flow together really, really well. And I would say that the main message for this week is just to get enough rest and allow yourself to have at least 5 minutes in the morning before you get out of bed where you go inside and honor all the love that you have in your life. Open to that more. Be with the dream time. There may be some messages that came through in dream time, so it would be really, a fantastic idea to write those things down before you even change much of a position in your body. If you can, have a pad of paper right next to your bed where you can grab it without. Like, let's say if you wake up and you're on your back, don't turn completely over on your side. Just reach over and grab the pad and paper. And some people even use like a little lighted pen so you don't have to turn on the light. What I do is I just kind of free write and I decipher it later. I tried the lighted pen and it just would still wake me up a little much. So, and then other things that you can do is set the intention to have a dream that will help you. And in this sense, it would be a dream that is good for the whole family and can protect your family and honor the things that you're growing, the actual, foundation of your life. I mean, this very much can have to do with, building something. The fours are all about building something. We've got, like the four corners of a house. And we get to grow the garden around the house. We get to plant trees around it. We get to nurture the trees that were already there often. And so there's a lot of that energy, but definitely getting enough rest so that you can honor what's growing in your life and those that you love the most, and loving yourself enough to give yourself the space to rest, meditate, a nap if you need naps during the day, whatever it is you need to take care of your body is going to be the thing. Okay? All right, so I'll be right back with week 2. Okay, this spread covers April 5th through the 11th, and our theme for the week is the Fool card. So the first card of the major arcana, or some people look at it, some readers look at it as being the card that's separate from the rest of the major arcana, or arcana, depending on how you want to, look at it. It's arcane means mysteries and secrets. It's kind of like the way the universe works. That's mysterious within each one of us. But they also relate to the archetypes that every human being goes through. And so they often look at the Fool as being like the hero's journey through the tarot. And it's, so through the major arcana, the Fool I'm going to relate to the Justice card here. The Fool card is about learning that there's cause and effect on the planet. To me, this is the card of karma. Along with the Wheel of Fortune, which has more to do with choices, this is the card that reflects upon mirroring. The universe will mirror back to us our beliefs, and that is the cause and effect within. And because what we believe is what comes into our life, because our belief system absolutely mirrors our experience in life, we get to make adjustments. We get to, weigh the decisions that we've made in the past and make changes. So it's always about going within, finding the false beliefs, and clearing them out. So from there, the reason I'm going with this first is because from there you create a whole new life experience. And the universe has your back is the motto that I always like to remember from Gabrielle Bernstein. She's an author and a speaker, and she has an oracle. I think it's called "The Universe Has Your Back." Pretty sure that's what it's called. So to know that that's ultimately the truth, you can rest assured that the law of the universe means that that it has to support whatever it is that you put out there, that it will receive you. It's bound by law to receive you, to receive each one of us with not only our false beliefs and our whatever's unconscious within us, but also everything that we are in truth. You know, if we're in absolute truth, if we're in the laws of love and we're in the laws of integrity and the law of brotherhood and sisterhood, where we want for each and every one of us, you know, the same thing that you would want for yourself, where we don't, go into superiority or wanting to control. If we're working from the laws of love, that should be our mirror. So if you're in that energy in consciousness, you can trust that the universe has your back. Now, if you're going to be foolish and not work from that realm of love and light, then your experience will be different, and you can always adjust. You know, you can always meet the pain of the problems that you've caused or that you've received, and then look within to see what it is within you that believes in that or had something to do with it, and then you can constantly you can constantly renew, you constantly transform. That's the journey of life, the entire new adventure that can come in for you every day. You know, every day can be a whole new adventure and can be very alive and fulfilling and vibrant if you're constantly working to clear out anything that is not in alignment with the laws of love. Okay? So in the beginning of the week, it looks like it was a really good weekend, and it's going to flow through the rest of the week. These are wonderful cards again. So with the Sun, that's the highest energy card in the deck. It has to do with obviously shining your light, right? The light, the love and light and truth are always around you. Your task in life is always just to search for the truth within, find, just like I said, the false beliefs and clear them out, and just to let your light shine. I mean, look at the heart energy is just flying out of her chest. And when you let your light shine, it has to come back to you. And it's a very playful energy. Normally there are, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, there's a child on a horse, and it has to do with the power of your love and shining your light. It's all about happiness and, you know, joy, and the power of love that can flow through you. The red, the yellow, it's just, I mean, it's just so beautiful. And to know that your light on earth really matters. You truly matter. And the universe is not complete without you, so you might as well shine your light. You might as well not hold back. But it definitely has to do with playfulness, and it can be with children. It can be the love that you have for your children and all the children on the earth. It can honor your inner child. You can look at this card from just so many different angles, but it looks to me like if you shine, the message here is that if you have the courage to shine your light, and then come within to always check on, you know, how am I creating what I want? Am I coming from fairness? Am I coming from a place of equality with everyone on the planet? And I don't mean just, you know, humans. I mean also the physical, you know, ecosystem that we're in, all of Earth's inhabitants and creatures. Are we coming from honoring everything? And then, you know, from there you can make adjustments. This card is definitely about adjustments, constant adjustments that we make every day as we grow. So then towards the end of the week, it looks like, you know, you've got all this energy, and it's beautiful and it's coming through, and then you're putting it into very practical means. This card often is about studying. It can be about just new ways. Sometimes the pages bring in messages. Sometimes you have some answers that come in to help you in the practical world, even more than you have before. But notice how, she's centered here in the balance position, like a yoga balance position. So it's about managing your resources, but it can be about new resources coming in because it's a page. It can be about studying. It can be about learning. It can be all just anything that has to do with the material world and working within it. And then the rest of the week and into the weekend is all about enjoying all the fulfillment. I mean, look at the treasure chest here. I always like to look at this as, your buried treasure within, and as you excavate it from within, as you do all this inner work, then more and more fulfillment comes. So this is like the wish fulfillment card. So if you've been really working on something that it was risky and you had to just kind of fall and let that, know that something would catch you, know that the forces of the universe, the love of the universe will catch you and guide you to study in the right directions, guide you towards looking for more resources or sharing resources, communicating about resources. You guys have to let me know. I love comments, so let me know how this week played out for you. But it's all about, at the end of the game, is just, honoring the game of life here, just honoring all of your fulfillments and you have so much reason to be grateful, so many reasons to be grateful. You can choose at least 9 that open your heart and allow more love to flow. This is a very flowing week, it looks to me. So just honoring those wishes that you want to bring in and opening to more, always open to more. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all I have to say for the second week. I'll be right back with the next week. Okay, this spread will cover April 12th through the 18th. And the theme here, this is interesting. I think there's just a main message here. So I'm still going to break it down one by one. But with the Six of Cups here as the theme, we're in the realm of the past. We're in the realm of family, the way families work, family systems. We're in the realm of what we loved about the past and how sometimes we wish things were the way they used to be. And, when life was easier and all that you had, to deal with was your puppy, And you grow up and you have your puppy is still with you and you have your dog. But then sometimes we lose our dogs, right? Sometimes this can relate to focusing or some thoughts about the past that come in. Maybe there's still some grieving that needs to happen, or you remember, the dog fondly and know that, your pets that have moved on and crossed over are still with you. They're still in your heart and you keep them alive in your heart. The connection is always there in your heart. So whether it's a pet or a relationship, honoring everything as, in the eternal, still being alive in eternity by focusing on your heart, focusing on all the things that you've loved all your life. And prior lifetimes, that it's all in the heart. So another way to look at this card would be to, for some of you, it may come up in the realm of working on your childhood, inner child work, working on healing something from the past. And that's especially true when we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is about letting go of a painful ending, Sometimes it's not about that it was painful, but there was a loss. So this could be very well the loss of a pet, something that you loved. This does not have to be about relationships. This can be about just something other than you that you definitely cared and loved. So this could be some grieving that comes up to process through, which is wonderful, because when you do that, you have more energy and available life force. All of our deepest pain from any lifetime can come through in order to clear it out and make you more free in this lifetime. So it's one of those situations where when painful feelings come up, it's best to just feel them. It's best to not try to figure out exactly what happened or what's going on. I mean, you can, if you get guidance to explore something, absolutely. But the most important thing is you just feel it and breathe and let it go. I mean, the Ten of Swords is definitely about letting it go, and it's definitely about breathing deeply and then focusing on just letting it go, forgiving, and looking towards the future, and look at the bright future here. I mean, the sun's coming up, it's lighting her path. The difficult, painful thoughts and situations are just going to fly away. They're just going to leave, as long as you can go through your heart and focus on the love that was there, and then just let it go. So it could very well be, grieving for past loved ones who have crossed over, grieving the challenging childhood that you had, any and all type of grief work. If that comes up this week, process it through, because it will help you in the realm of giving and receiving even more, and it will help release any burdens baggage that you've been carrying. And goodness knows, we all have who knows what from past lifetimes that we need to clear out. And I truly believe, it's been my experience, that our bodies, which are capable of cellular memory, they carry the cellular memory. I believe our bodies are always trying to clear the past and always trying to keep us free from dragging on. You don't have the burdens. You don't need to carry the burdens. When we do stay stuck in the burdens, we often overextend ourselves. We get confused in the realm of giving and receiving. We get caught up in the giving to get, rather than realizing that when we're clear in our hearts, when we're giving, we're also receiving. That there is no, intrinsically within the consciousness, within the energy and consciousness of giving and receiving, it's the one and the same energy. So that's a beautiful awareness to have. And that's a meditation that you can even, you can sit and just focus on the words receiving, giving, receiving, giving, giving, receiving, and then you'll get to the place where it's all one. You realize it's all one. And you can feel that, when you're petting a pet, when you're with a pet, you may be scratching his back or under the ears, or you may be doing anything that makes your pet happy, and you're giving to him, but you're also receiving. So there's the lesson there, that when it comes to heart, the sharing of the heart, it doesn't matter if it's a pet or a person, but the love that is shared is you're in the realm of giving and receiving for both, right? And this could be a group. This could be two groups of love that comes together to help. But the key thing here is to let go of any past grieve, of course, but let go of any past burdens that you've been carrying. And burdens can show up in the form, well, on the spiritual levels. They can be in the form of holding on to grudges. They can be in the form of resentments for the way things were. They can show up in the realm of just holding on to so much that you can't move forward, and you definitely need to let go for everything to open up again. The natural card after this one would come back to the Ace of Wands, which would be a whole new opportunity to open up to a whole new reality. But you can't get there if you're still holding on to the baggage. Okay? And sometimes this card can come up when it's about asking for help, and especially if it follows the Six of Pentacles. If you just read these two cards together, it would say, if you can ask for help, you can let go of some burden. It can be, these two cards can indicate delegating. Okay, so that you can move on and open up to the next thing, which the next thing would be the Ace of Wands. The next passionate thing to open to, and the energy of the universe will come through and be there for you if you can just let go. So, okay, I think that's all I have to say about that week. And please, again, like I always say, leave comments. Let me know how the week went for you. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, this spread will cover April 19th to the 25th. And wow, so the theme is the Eight of Pentacles, which is all about working, honoring your craft, working on your craft. I mean, notice how she's, it doesn't matter what it is, what work it is, but in this situation, it looks like maybe she's into plant medicine and working with herbs and recipes here. So this little area here can definitely relate to ingredients. And it doesn't have to be, ingredients of it can very well be like a recipe type of a thing, but it can also be like the tools that you use, and the candle here represents how she's just always, like, that light within her is something that just fuels her, like she loves what she does. This definitely has to do with, maybe she's a candle maker. Whatever it is that she's creating here, whatever's on her table, your table, whatever it is that you love doing, it will continue to grow. The eights are all about, of course, it's a little bit of the infinity symbol, but it's very powerful. And whatever you bring, whatever you work on and you keep bringing in will just continue to grow. This card has to do sometimes with studying as well, because it relates to like auditing classes, like re-auditing a class that you already took. It relates to internships. It relates to being an apprentice in your field. So it's a wonderful service card, and all of the other cards here definitely support. I believe this will be more of a work, a week that's devoted. I would imagine all Capricorns are pretty focused on work, because this is the nature of who you are. But this week in particular, it will be even, the energy's there, it's even stronger. Now, the Ten of Cups starting off the week makes me wonder if a lot of you did do that grief work, that possible grief work, or the letting go of burdens, because that would, if you did that this Ten of Cups would naturally follow. This is the Ten of Cups, of course, is the ultimate fulfillment card. It is the energy of having so much love and happiness that you're in just the state of contentment. So that's a really, really, wonderful way to start the week off. So this may be like Sunday. It could be that it plays out through the whole week, because we have the Nine of Cups again. So it's like, we have it all. But okay, so what else do we want? What more treasures are there in life if I open up to the infinity of all possibilities, what else can life bring in for me to experience. And then that furthers, when you have that motivation going on in your life, it furthers you to work harder, just to keep going at it. Keep honoring your craft. Just keep going, to the systems, the nomenclature, the organizational genius within you that can create anew constantly and make it better and better and better. That's the way I see that card. In with the heights of the passion here following it or preceding it. And then what follows the Eight of Pentacles is, of course, the Strength card. And in the Major Arcana, the way I see this card, of course, it has everything to do with physical strength and inner strength. But the way I see it is that in the highest realm, when you get there, and there's no judgment because there are so many different levels, and spiraling into the inner strength is a lifelong process. But so notice how she has the infinity symbol up here as a tattoo, and that's one of the true meanings of this card, in that the inner strength comes through as you're constantly working within. And here are the key elements, is that for me, I see it as always looking, always working to look for wherever we may be unconsciously stuck, or whatever is within our unconsciousness, that, or subconscious, unconscious, whatever you want to call it. But where is it that we're cut off from something within that would help us, if we knew about it, like if we really deeply understood our own light and knew who we really were, how might we put ourselves, gently out into the world? How might we be able to let go of any forcing current to be seen? If the need to be seen and heard, if that real need hasn't been honored when you were a child, of course you're going to carry it into your, into your adult experience, and that can be, it can be used wonderfully. Like I could imagine, many public people, celebrities and, actors that have done great things with that energy. But at some point, when you get in touch with the pain of not being seen and heard and understood when you were little, when you can heal that, when you can feel that pain and you can heal it, then your true creative self-expression comes through, and in a very gentle way. Notice how we have the lamb here. And so you don't have to roar like a lion. You can just be, you can be with the gentle self-expression of who you really are can just come through. When that happens, when the conscious and unconscious energies, are integrated within, what can happen is that you can just move through life in a very gentle, loving experience of yourself, where you don't have to prove anything to anyone, where you can see other people with the same love that you've given yourself. It's truly a card of self-love, because it does take a lot of self-love to go within and look for the darkness. And when you've done that, when you've integrated that, you'll see your gentle spirit. You'll be with your gentle spirit, where you don't have to push. You don't have to push. You don't have to, make anything be known. You can just walk through life with the being that you are, emanating from within. And when you do that, now these opportunities may very well play out through the week, or it may just be an awareness that you have that helps you. Because if you've done the healing work that looked like the opportunity came up for last week, this week may be all about all of these principles that I'm speaking to. So, of course, we had the Justice in, I think, the first week. I can't remember, but this is the card that has to do with working through the beliefs and coming from the place of weighing, all of the inner beliefs that may or may not be true. So with that inner work here and this coming through here, I would believe that that you're much more open to receiving all the love, and because when you're in truth, when you're in the harmony of truth and understanding that life is fair. I mean, it's utter BS to go around thinking that life isn't fair. I mean, everybody says that, but it's not true. Life is 100% fair. Now, it's not perfect because, we're on a dualistic planet. We are unitive beings, open-hearted, loving, deep down inside our cores, unitive beings, but we're having an experience of dualistic life on planet Earth, where we have, light and dark, we have good and bad, we have right and wrong, we have pleasure and pain, we sometimes win, we sometimes lose. Doesn't mean you're not still, in a win-win situation. Doesn't mean that you're a loser or the other person is a loser. That's the life and death duality that we're in. And an acceptance of that duality. If we can accept the duality, if we can go inside and accept that no matter what happens, no matter how challenging life can be, that does not mean that you're bad or wrong. It doesn't mean that you're any less than or that you're inadequate in any way. It just means that sometimes life is not perfect. But it is fair in that it will always mirror back to you something that you can work on. So, for instance, if, let's say, in a situation where you gave your best, where you showed up and you open-heartedly gave your best, and let's imagine you were not recognized. What you can do with that would balance out and reconcile that, place within, what you can do is to not take it personally. If you don't take it personally that somebody else didn't see you, then you don't have to go to all those places. Or let's imagine, you opened your heart to somebody and they just didn't really respond the same way that you wanted them to. And maybe they just couldn't yet. And maybe, for whatever reason, they didn't respond the right way. Or maybe they mirrored back the same type of response you would get from one of your family members or that you got from your family environment when you were little, and then it could throw you back into your pain. That would mean that, okay, there's a deeper place to work here. Because at some point, you'll come full circle, and you'll realize, if you keep working at it, you'll come full circle where you realize that it's within. I can balance it out within. I can reconcile the opposites. I can accept that life may not show up in the perfect way that I want it to be, but it can be fair within me because I can come into the place of what's to work on, what's to let go, what is it that I need to grieve, what is it that I need to open to, and then you can constantly work to stay in that balanced place, which is challenging. That's one of the biggest challenges for humans, is to stay balanced. But it's one of the laws of the universe that keeps it spinning, right? It keeps everything going. So, okay, I think that's all I have to say there, and I'll be right back for the last week of the month. Okay. This spread will cover April 26th through May 2nd. And wow, what an awesome week. So the theme here with the Seven of Cups is about asking, what do I really want? I have so many options in life. What is it that I really want? Do I want to go through a little bit of a rebirthing experience where I get myself to a new place by going within and clearing out? Do I want to work more on my material reality? Do I want to work more on my relationships? Do I want to work a little bit with each one? Now this sometimes can be in the traditional tarot. This can be the card that relates to temptations. Like if you go under this one to where you're not in a rebirth, but you're stuck in a challenging place, you can remain stuck. It can be a bit of one of these could be the a trap of delusion, you know. They can be, anyone could be like a temptation into the wrong direction, I suppose would be the way to say it. So it's about contemplating within. But, you know, trusting your loving heart will lead you in the right direction. And this Ten of Wands showing up in the beginning of the week tells me that there's the energy here to let go of the past. And I know we spoke to that quite a bit in the prior weeks. But because the Ace of Pentacles follows it, the message here I see is that if we can let go of carrying burdens that are not ours to carry, if we can just be with our own self-responsibility and take care of our own selves and our own family, and not have to carry the burden of others, then we're free to create something new. Something new can come in. And of course the pentacles relate to the material realm. You could call it the ace of material, you know, resources, tools, just anything and everything. Money, of course, but anything and everything. Health, physical health, money, resources, tools, all types of, you know, the blessings that life has to offer. So being careful to delegate wherever you possibly can, and thinking about what is it that I really want, and what is it that I need to let go of, so that I can open to more opportunities for bringing in more of what I want into my physical life, and, you know, the life of my family, if that's the case. But we're all one big family, so, you know. Okay, so then with the rest of the week, the rest of the month, you're going to move into the beginning of May with a whole new lease on life, I believe, and coming from the open heart of, more of what is it that I really want. Now, with the Chariot, sometimes this card does relate to traveling. It could be a week or the end of the month where some people do return home from their travels. If they were stuck in some areas. I mean, of course, you know, what we're going through globally has left some people stuck in not being able to get home. So it could be that you're finally home to where you can open up and relax and really be in your loving heart. But it also, on a deeper, like, law of, you know, nature and spiritual law, the Chariot to me relates to coming from your inner will and letting go of your outer will that wants to control everything. Like let's say your ego says, I have to figure out what I want, and I have to go for it, and that's the only way I'm going to be happy. And that really isn't the truth. The truth is that if you can drop inside, if you can let go of the burden of what you think you have to do to be, functioning well in society, or if you can let go of who you think you need to be in order to receive love and approval, and you can open up to the gifts within, and really focus on what is it that I really want. If you can align with your inner will, which is not forceful, it's not pushing, it doesn't have to get there right away. You know, in this card, the horses are kind of going in two different directions, and the challenge is always to stay balanced and bring the forces together, bringing the light and the shadow together. And the only way you do that is to be aware of your shadow. You cannot be in your light it helps to be in your light in order to open to the shadow, because that's the only way that you can, not judge yourself harshly for the shadow that comes up. And the only way you can heal it is by loving it. You know, you love it right out of you, literally. But by loving yourself through the shadows that come up, you're not going to put them out into the world anymore. You know, I mean, I really doubt that anybody that's, watching anyone's tarot channel or spiritual growth channel on YouTube, I really doubt they're coming from a place of wanting to be in the shadow. It's all about healing the shadow and coming into the light. And the shadow is only the unknown. The shadow is just where we have some disowned aspects within, where we're just not aware of. And these can be, negative thoughts, negative ways of moving through life. And with the Chariot especially, it would be thinking that you have to get it done and you got to do it now and you got to get there quick. Okay, so if you can let go of that and align with your inner will that knows the right direction to go, this is also a very directional card. And of course, the strength card that we had prior to, in the weeks before, the strength card follows the Chariot. So if you can align with your inner will and go in that direction and be patient, be very patient, then you will definitely naturally drop into the consciousness of the inner strength of the strength card, the strength card that follows. So the rest of the week is just about aligning. I would say aligning. Some of you may be traveling, of course, but for the most part, it's about aligning with your own inner will, not having to push anything, looking for any negative thoughts, false beliefs that need to be brought up into the light, so that the forces within you can be in alignment from your own inner light. It's your own unique light, and from there your heart will open even more, and more of the universe will flow through you. More of all the positive aspects of life will come. And so that's it. I don't think I have anything else to say about that week. I just want to end with asking you to please subscribe to my channel and hit the little notification bell so that you don't miss out on the next readings that come up. And with that said, and of course, like the videos if you did like them, and leave your comments. I love knowing how the week went for you, and or in anything that you want to say. And I'll be back the last week. I'll have all new readings for May in the last week of this month. Okay, take good care.